Afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Kartel Flow. My name is Aunty Shan, if you didn't know. And sitting next to, let's give a shout out to our camera person today, Miss Cal. Thank you so much, Cal Hustle, for helping and lining us up on point. This is Big Nate 508, my brother from another mother.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? And right next to me is iyanna. Would you please introduce yourself, sister?
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Iyanna, also known as Priestess ZIONA to whoever's out there. You can call me what you want, but don't call me out my name.
That
That's
part.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
So I would like to kind of bring up a topic today that, is something that not everybody talks about, right? Mm-hmm. And, I like to talk about the unspoken. Give voices to people that we like to give a space at the table for people that maybe need to hear a conversation that somebody maybe that is close to them that they don't have an option or an outlet, right? Because I think that through healing, it's a form of art. I think it's a very misunderstood art, if you ask me, and I believe that in dealing with emotional intelligence and if people that are in recovery or people that are in transition or people that are just restarting their life and are like, oh my gosh, like what day is it? Like I need to call my therapist today. I think that having a conversation about what you do every day is a spectacular gateway. And tell us a little bit about dating with a diagnosis.
Okay, so let me start off by saying this. I work in the peer recovery field, mental health peer recovery field. I am a peer specialist. I am a peer advocate for the mental health movement, fighting for human rights and humane treatment in psychiatric facilities and such. Okay, so let's start there. And with my lived experience, when I started joining the community of mental health and people in mental health recovery, which is a very important term that I use, mental health recovery. And when I started finding my own way with mental health recovery, I learned that we talk a lot about relationship skills, for example, in the Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. And one thing that they mention in the steps, and a few of the steps, is like, you have to make amends for where you was wrong. You got to hold yourself accountable. But we really shied away for a long time. We shied away from the whole dating aspect or even covering like healthy relationships. We learn a lot through communication and relationships, not just intimate relationships, but we learn a lot in our family dynamics as well, in our social dynamics. And for me personally, dating with a diagnosis is based off of my lived experience of how my growth was stunted because of my mental health and because of my trauma. I didn't have adequate social skills. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to understand people. I didn't know how to relate because of the symptoms of what comes with mental health, dissociation, delusions, hallucinations, hearing things that weren't said. So things like that. And then also growing up in a dysfunctional family where I did start to see my family, we healed together. We heard it together, then we healed together. So I wanted dating with a diagnosis to be a thing where we can talk about having healthy relationships. We know all these toxic relationships because we were on drugs and, trauma bonding.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that your family all recovered together, and let's talk about trauma bonding afterwards next, right? I mean, let's talk about that, like growth as a family. A lot of families don't even recognize like what mental health awareness even is. Like they're not even aware, right?
Yeah.
It's that's just Shannon, that's just the way she acts. Like maybe that's not always the case. Maybe I don't mean to interrupt everybody. I don't try, but like people sweep the conversation under the rug and let it be known that if you're going through anything in life, that there is someone to talk to. We have resources that we can find you the right people for your situation. Or even a conversation just to make you feel like comfortable.
I think too, like when we deal with mental health, I think that, like again, I've said this many times, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a wound that requires stitches. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, as I make an I statement, is that we have all of this baggage, which stems from mental health and trauma, and then we get into these relationships and we bring that baggage with us.
Yep.
Because we haven't really found a place of healing, and in that, we tend to look at our partner to find that healing when I think that we really need to heal within ourselves before we can even begin to embark on that true, pure, profound relationship where it could work. You know what I'm saying? And I think that too comes from like the trauma building. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I'm going through this and I'm going through that, and then we're not even finding that time to really enjoy ourselves, let alone each other. And so I think that that's where a lot of times where the relationships go wrong. And as they always say in these restorative justice circles, heal people, but hurt people. I don't know if you agree, but that's how I see it.
I love that you said that, because where dating with a diagnosis is different is we are validating ourselves, and we do want to practice self-love first.
Yeah.
And the way that we do that is by, I feel like other people are a portal.
Yeah.
So I found myself in my enemies. I found myself in my community, face to face with people. And I found I would go and internalize all of them. You get into an argument and people are like, oh, you're a bitch this, you're an a-hole, you're mean, you're rude. And then you internalize that. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If 10 people are telling me this, I'm the common denominator. I'm the sum of the sum of my problems. I'm the sum of all my problems. So then internalizing that and then being like, okay, this is where the growth starts. So part of that is
congratulations to recognizing that, because I think a lot of people don't recognize that, and they think that everybody else is the problem sometimes.
Yeah.
And the only way that you can change is from within.
Yes.
Change comes from inside. I mean, I believe in God, I believe in everything, but God is not going to change me. I need to change myself with the way I look at God and the way I interpret God into life.
I've also read, that God will change the condition of those who change the condition of themselves.
Oh, I love that.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I've heard that and I've read it. And it's actually, in the Quran, man, it talks about, God will change the condition of those who change the condition of themselves. But I noticed, man, in dealing with, what you deal with, a lot of times I jumped into relationships, for the wrong reasons instead of the right reasons. And now that I'm home after 30 years, it's my...
Let's congratulate Nate on that one.
Yes, that's a win. That is a big win.
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Way to
That
go
is
on.
a big win.
But I just want to just get into relationships, man, for the right reasons, man. Not for what somebody has or what I can gain from somebody or none of that. I want to, get into these relationships, man, because it's what's real and what's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm continuously working on my trauma and my mental health, and so I can bring that healthy relationship together.
Yes.
That's a real man. Right?
Yes.
That. So, do you think that, let's just discuss relationships for a second. Do you think that people that they jump fast into a relationship, like too quick?
I feel like we should go at an organic pace, because in certain situations, something that moved fast, it ended quickly, but it was good. It was a learning experience for me. Like, tying in that into what Brother Nate said, right? I was very standoffish with guys who would like love bomb me. And love bombing is like just overflowing emotion and ready to just settle down because I needed to fix myself. But I knew that from the time that I was a young age. I said, listen, I'm not settling down and getting married. I was engaged 4 times by the time I was 23. Wow. And I knew I didn't want them. I just thought the ring was nice.
Well, that's because you're See?
I thought the ring was nice, but I knew something wasn't clicking. So I could have fun.
And was that did you think that I'm just going to pause you for a second. Do you think that was because of the other person, or just yourself? Do you think that you were both not ready? And what is love bombing? Can we define what love bombing is? Because some people don't know that term.
Love bombing is when they are throwing flowers at you every day, when they are texting you the I love yous, when they're texting you I miss you, I want to see you, they want to see you every day. You come home, they got gifts laid out on the bed. And sometimes with love bombing, there is abuse and narcissism and all those unhealthy things happening where they're trying to reel you in with their money and with gifts. So you want to be careful with love bombing.
Yeah, that's true. And I agree with you on that one. That narcissism piece hit hard right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've only dated narcissists your whole life, that's what I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
I got to find out why. What is it?
We are the sum of all of our problems.
Correct.
So we go inside, and we I want to hear what Brother Nate
I
has
had to kick
say.
myself off the
I wanna
narcissist
hear-
horse.
He might be able to answer this better than I can.
I mean, I ain't no clinician or no doctor.
Neither.
I'm not a
Not
doctor
clinician.
like you. I'm not. You've been in relationships, but for me, one thing I have to say is I agree with you 1,000,000%, not 100%. On having relationships on a very organic level. Like I said, I used to just jump into relationships because, man, for real, to keep it real, I was very insecure with myself. But once I was able to understand who I am and be secure with me, then I was able to embrace others. But in reference to love bombing, you know what I'm saying, I'm at a point, man, because, if I'm dealing with somebody and everybody I deal with is on an organic level. I don't try to push myself or nothing. And so if I love someone, I love them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like love is the highest gift that he allows us to manifest. So if I love you, I love you. And I believe, man, like, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm going to let them know verbally, you know what I'm saying? And also by my ways and actions, yo, boo, I love you. Yo, sweetheart, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let her know because I come from times where, they didn't express that or they didn't say that. They would either call you, an asshole or you're a piece of shit, whatever, and that wasn't right and that wasn't healthy for me.
Exactly.
So I do love bomb, but it's coming from its truest place.
Yes.
Because I do love you. I do care about you. I want the best for you. You know what I'm saying? And, my friends or if I'm in an intimate relationship, whatever that may be, I just let that out and I show it improve, not just by my words, but by my ways and actions.
I love that. Yes, we gotta show it, to know it. But the love bombing came about from the people who like abusing you
Or telling you who you should hang out with, or who
Oh,
you
yeah,
should
being
roll with,
Insecurities.
like grooming.
And then
The grooming.
yeah.
It comes. Sometimes
so
it comes
keep
with
it
grooming.
organic, like
Yeah.
you're
You're
saying.
organic.
You're talking about the organic love bombing, the good stuff. But I just want the young people to look out for the ones that are doing that, and then they turn around and they abusing you in some way.
By the time you're 40 something in life, you don't want to continuously get hoodwinked forever, right? At some point you got to beware of what's around, and that's the true meaning of it. And Nate is proof that there's good guys out there. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good one to the ladies, I think.
I mean, I'm under construction, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not no Blair Underwood or I'm not fly like that. I have a pure heart, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying, man. And like I said, sis, and doctor, this is a new world, man. And I'm learning from you, and I'm learning from you. I'm learning from even Cal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm all about healthy relationship.
But you're a gentleman. You hold the door for women, for other people, for elderly. I see you out there. We see you outside. That's the kind of man that leads by example. Not just talks about it behind a microphone, but actually is out doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what's really important, is that how you treat others is the kind of respect level that you get back in life.
Yeah,
We
trial
need a
and
lot
error,
of
though,
that.
right?
Yeah.
From trial and error.
Yeah, we need a lot of that.
But listen up, pay attention. Open the door for your elders. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, hold the door for the elders. Normalize telling your friends and your family you love them, because tomorrow's never granted.
Yes.
What I wanted to ask, because I'm very interested, because I don't know much about, and please forgive me if I mispronounce, but priestess.
You can call me Iyanna. You can call me Dr. Iyanna.
But I'd like to know how you came into that, because, I'm a person, I like to learn, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So could you...
Oh, we're going to teach you all about your chat.
I love that.
Right?
I'm sorry, sis, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but-
I do want to talk about this because I feel like okay, let's start here. I was a serial dater growing up. I was fresh. I was fast. Let's be honest. I was fast. I was a serial dater. I did a lot of online dating. I started on a computer.
Are you
when
the
I was
Tinder
about,
swindler
like,
in a female form, honey?
I was How to Be a Player 101. Bill Bellamy, remember that? How to be. I studied that movie when I was like 13 years old. I kid you not. But my thing was I was trying to find myself. I wanted to explore. I seen marriages fail where people were young. Like my parents got married young, right? Not my biological father, but my mother and her first husband. They got married young at 17. Shotgun wedding, you know.
Yeah.
And they failed because they were still out exploring the world. And I saw that failure, and I'm like, well, maybe I should explore the world first, date around, see what I like. I don't know what I like yet. I'm too young to know what I like. You know, I'm too young to understand myself. So let me serial date. Let me just have fun. You know, and now I'm at the age where I know what's out there. I know what I like. I know what I need. I know what makes me happy. I love myself with or without the man or without the person, because I am queer. But, you know, that took time. You know, like Brother Nate said, he's under construction. We always going to be evolving, baby. We always going to be evolving. But that came about from my lived experience with the serial date, and I had so much Mac. Like, that's what I call it. I had so much Mac. My female friends were like, that man proposed to you? He proposed to you? That man did that to you? You got that man doing this and that? I said, I don't got him doing anything. I just be myself. And, you know, I used to tell them that the girls I grew up with, I'm telling you, they ain't ready for that life, that world. They were such in love with the idea of being in love. Like you said, getting in relationships because you're insecure or not understanding. So they so rushing down to have a baby, thinking the baby would keep him in. So in a rush to get, you know, proposed to, and thinking that it ends at the wedding, it ends at the marriage, it ends at the ring. It does not. That's even the biggest part of the beginning, is once you get the ring and once y'all walk down the aisle. That's the biggest part of it.
That's right.
But that's where it came from. It came from me being a serial dater. It also came from me. I had heartbreaks. Though I was a player, I got my heart broken so many times to the point where it drew me to self-harm. And that's one of the biggest things about dating with a diagnosis. I want people to love themselves first. So when they get their heart broken, they be like, hey, goodbye. Yeah. You know, I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You know?
Next.
Yeah, exactly.
But
and
we're gonna be cautious next time.
Sometimes you gotta kiss a few of the frogs. Some people are too picky. They're like, I don't want to date him. You never know. You know, I kissed all of them. I'm just being honest. I kissed all the frogs to find the right one. And my friend said, you gotta go through the losers to find the winner. Big Nate might be a winner.
Aunty.
I remember, you know, when I was real young, and you know, I was in like high school. You know, and I used to like, you know, I think, man, I love this girl. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, I felt it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel the warmth all through your body and your stomach's queasy and all that. But, you know, I realized, man, as I looked at him sitting in that prison cell, and, you know, all these songs come on, you know what I'm saying? 88, 9 at night, the slow jams, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And, you know, and then you got those memories, but I realized, man, that I was in no place to just be in a relationship like that. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I was woefully immature, but with that, I learned a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? That woman don't even want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm out now. I've been out. She don't want to holler at me and none of that. And I'm not looking to be in a relationship with her, but, you know, just be like, you know what, man, you know, I'm sorry about back in the day and all that, man. But I think a lot of that stuff, because like I said, a lot, not just relationships, but a lot of things that happen to us, period, comes from insecurity. You know what I'm saying? And we come from backgrounds where everybody's, man, I wanted to be everybody else but myself. But once I was able to be myself and be comfortable with me, then I'm able to give my best part. And that's how I see the relationships. But the serial dating and then stuff like that, that's something that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know.
Well, it's because the internet. That's the only reason why I was able to serial date. The internet. That's the online dating thing. No, you're good. No, you didn't cut me off. We're flowing. We on the Kartel flow.
That's what we do.
Flowing.
But I just like I said, like, I just seen your page and I was like, dang, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think I really, really feel that my opinion is that a lot of people, like, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and it was like, yo, if you're with somebody, you can't just like them or love them because they got a good body, or like them or love them because they got money, or like them or love them because they have their own crib, or like them or love them because they. You gotta like everything about them. It's like that cartoon Voltron. All the parts come together, and you gotta love that person. And then one thing too, I always say is, man, instead of loving somebody for their perfections, y'all love them for their imperfections, because it shows me, you know what I'm saying, you know, how far they've came from adversity. That's what I love about a woman. You know what I'm saying? More than the cute face and the nice hair. It's like, yo, what you been through, what you done, and what can you show me as a man? You know what I'm saying? What can you teach me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I learned that a lot from my sister. You know what I'm saying? She's always telling me, you know what I'm saying, things that I can learn. And that's what I like about a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, so.
Thank you for sharing that.
That was great to share. Thank you so much. And I want to talk about the other night that we would talk. You had a little thing on. I was watching your show on Facebook, your Instagram, your Facebook Live, and you were saying that, like, when you meet somebody, like, be your true self.
Oh yeah.
Don't hide.
Yeah.
If that person's gonna come out, and by the way, when someone shows you their first colors, the truth, the first time, believe them. That's who they really are. They're gonna come back and get you over and over and over again. And it's how many lessons you're gonna learn from the same person or others. Same stuff, different day, right?
Yeah.
But the other night you were talking about this, and this is a big thing that people go into relationships and they're not a hundo.
Yeah, they're hiding a lot of things. And so I'll touch a little bit on that, and I also want to do the flip of the coin on that too. Okay. I'll keep it quick, right? So transparency is a word that we use in mental health training. When we're learning how to be there for others and mutuality in the mental health recovery field, we use the word transparency, which is deeper than honesty, because transparency is a window where you can see right through it. Honesty is like, okay, I'm not going to tell this person this, but I'm going to keep it real. But transparency is, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to, what I call, talk you out of buying the car before I talk you into buying the car. So that means, I would say, I used to hide the fact that I was a smoker. And I was ashamed of it because I knew that a lot of guys that for some reason I would hook up with were like no smoking, and they don't like the smell of cigarettes or whatever. And so I would be like, okay, let me not tell him I smoke
Aunty
cigarettes.
was like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Period.
To me. That's
you
what
can't accept me with a
to
cigarette because I smoked for 33 years.
Yeah, I smoked for 15.
Yeah,
a pack and a half a day.
I smoked 2 packs of Newports for 33 years.
Wow.
That's why I don't play instruments anymore. The wind or the horns.
But what ended up happening was, I said to myself, I keep ruining all these cool dates by like hiding the fact that I smoke. Because sometimes you'll meet somebody and they're like, oh, do you mind if I smoke? But hey, I smoke too. Now it's even better. But then I said, when the next person that hits me up online and says, hey, let's go out, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm a smoker. You know, I like to smoke cigarettes. I chain smoke. I smoke after I eat. If I can't smoke in your house, I don't want to go with anybody. Oh, I don't like no smokers. And they just move on. I didn't have to waste my time. He didn't have to waste his money. I didn't have to waste my money. I didn't have to get dressed up to present a lie. And so being transparent was like, it weeded out, you know, they talk about in the Bible, the wheat and the tares. So it started moving things faster where I'm like, oh, I know who I can vibe with. Like, oh, I smoke too, sis. Don't worry. Let's meet up. Let's smoke. You know, let's go to the park and just smoke. Yeah. You know, and so having that transparency allowed me to meet the people that were that had the same likes that I had, you know. And you want somebody to love you and like you for who you are, and you can't do that if you're not being yourself. The other flip point, and I'm going to close it here, but the other flip side of that coin is, just because you're being transparent doesn't mean they are.
Oh yeah.
You know, right. And then when whatever's in the dark comes light, and then it's like, it's up to you. If this person wasn't being transparent with you about how many kids they have, their living situation, their career, their job situation, whether they have a job or not, income coming in, whatever that may be, what they're trying to lie about or hide from you, when it comes to light, it's up to you whether you're gonna like accept it as it is, or are you gonna be like, that's a no-go because you could have told me that from the beginning. When you're a transparent person, you want that energy back.
Yeah, like if they tell you in a week, but not like 6 months down the road. Like,
exactly.
Who wants to be willing up to do that? Like, oh, I got 5. I got 18 kids and 16 babies mother.
Yeah,
or something.
It'd be like that.
You know, I respect. Yo, I'm learning a lot.
Welcome to the ladies' table. Yeah.
We're talking about transparent, like you know, like I think being transparent and the totality is important. One thing I learned about being transparent in a relationship is I've been in relationships where you're transparent and the woman will be like, oh, you can tell me, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to lie. You can just be honest with me, and then you be honest with them, and then they're like, oh, what? And so then you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man. So then I'm like, yo, I'm being real with you, and then, but you know, I think that, you know, being transparent is essential and honest, and it's better. And you know, like I said, man, this is all new to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning. I'm living and I'm learning, and I'm maturing. And I wouldn't want it any less. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, I think that we need to pay attention to our sisters more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, our women more, because without no woman, there'll be no man. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's right. Well, thank you for that, because that's a real one. Now, did you have a question about the priestess? Like what that means? Like what is a priestess? Because I think that that can be like miscommunicated.
Like Erykah Badu vibe, yo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I saw you on Facebook, I was like, you had the Erykah Badu vibe. I was like, what?
I love Erykah. She's awesome. Yeah, she's a high priestess actually in the industry.
Yeah,
she's a high priestess in the industry. Now, what a priestess does, and I like to break it down onto my understanding, you know, the simple understanding of it. It is a minister of some sorts. In the you know, the culture of religion, and what priestess do is holy work. We do all types of holy work. We heal. We transfer energy. We can sometimes be alchemists. I know priestesses and high priestesses that are alchemists. We do it's a lot of, for me personally as a priestess, I do a lot of healing work. I do a lot of praying over people. I do a lot of transferring of energy, manifesting things. I have querents, is what I call them. People who come to me for a spiritual consult. I call them querents, coming with a question. So they querent, question. So when querents come to me, they usually are having, and I specialize in matters of the heart. So anything going on with your family, your kids, your relationship, anything like that, I got you. And one thing they come to me and they say, hey, you know, I've been sick for a while, and you know, I don't know what's going on. And I say, it's because of something you're doing or not doing, you know. And through that, we start to work out the layers of what could be possibly going on with, like, the real, you know what I mean? The real comes out. Sometimes I use tarot cards. Sometimes I just use the Bible, the Holy Christian Bible. Sometimes I use a Torah. Sometimes I use incense and things like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of praying and just like, I use my mental health training of how to communicate with people, my communication, effective communication skills, to help consult with people in the realms of spirituality. So that's what I do as a priestess.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you a quick. Well, do you mind? Sis?
No, go. I want you to.
I had a conversation a couple of days ago with my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. Shout out, love. And what we was talking about is, like, I think that sometimes when we get into relationships too, that we're so focused on, you know, me not letting the bad in, that we don't let the good in. Do you see? Do you see that? Like sometimes, like.
That's a new one. I would have to think on that, because
I think so. Because I think sometimes what happens is with I can speak from lived experience on this one, is that when you're in a relationship with somebody, you might have like a pedestal version of who they are, right? So you have this pedestal version of the person that you're trying to be with, but that's not the real person. I think that something's a thing. I don't know if that kind of I just totally bombed the question on that one, but
no, but that's so good. That's so good info.
It's a thing that, like, you put somebody on a pedestal, right? And you put them so high on a pedestal that you push them right off, or they push you off, one or the other, because it's just.
I think that has to do with dating potential. Dating potential is tricky, because you want to accept somebody as they are, and you see them to be, they can be so great in your mind, like, oh, they're so great at music, they can just, they can succeed in this, and I want to push them to do more music, I want to push them to do more paintings, I wanted to push them because I see their potential, that you forget to just accept them as they are. And now you're dating potential. Oh, he got good, he can build houses, I seen him build houses, but that person's just sitting on him behind, and you still in your head dating the potential and not dating the actual person. But you want to see the potential in people. You want to see the good in people. You do.
I think that everybody is redeemable. I don't care who they are. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's redeemable. But for me, I thought about, like, sometimes like, I'm just cool with people, and sometimes I get into my own psychosis where I just don't want to kick it with them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not because I don't like them or I don't care about them. It's just that I'm going through something that I'm trying to understand and do, and then I become, like, scared. You know what I'm saying? Because
do you get silent?
It gets silent, and I don't want to let, like I'm so focused on being defensive, like this fortified shield and whatnot, right? That I don't want to let the bad in. And by me not letting the bad in or that negative shit in, then I don't allow the blessings in. You know what I'm saying? I don't allow the good in. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I was just wondering, asking, because you're somewhat of a dating expert, right?
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying, a lot, I see it, because I was talking to my homegirl, I was like, yo, sometimes, man, we're so focused on not letting the bad in that we don't let the good in.
You're giving perspective. Because I haven't thought of that angle, and this is why I love having communication, and communicating with
and that's
people.
a real thing.
Yeah,
no,
that
it
is.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that too could be because the person's so busy hiding stuff.
Yeah.
Either
that,
or the person's been hurt so many times.
Yeah, like when you said being honest, and then they go off on you. I got a video I did about that one.
Yeah, like, just if you accept the honesty, if you're gonna ask for it.
Thank you.
Like, I am the type of friend. Do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? You want me to tell you the truth? I'm a truth bearer. It's sometimes not for everybody, and I don't care because I don't lie. I do not like lies. So you know what I mean? Like, when especially for a female, like, if you're asking the guy you date and, like, something, and he gives you the honest, upfront truth, whether you want to hear it or not, at least he's being 100 with you.
Yes.
So take it.
Yes.
Because not all guys are going to keep it real.
And most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, when they're asking you if you did something or if you were somewhere you probably had no business being, and you say no, they know, they already know. And that's what's going to break it right there, because a lot of the guys that I dated, when I was exploring, and they'd be like, hey, was you over here the other day? And I'd be like, yeah, I was, because he already knows. So he's cool with me because he's like, he kept it real. No problem. Yeah. But for men and women, it's a little different. When a woman asks you to be honest, usually what they say, they use your truth against you. It becomes like a war there. It's like you told them the truth, and now they're like, and it's like, you don't want to do that. You want to respect the honesty. It's so precious, the truth.
Yeah.
Not everybody's got the power to tell it.
Yeah, exactly. Themselves or hear it.
Right. And that's what we're on the table to do. Tell the truth.
Yes.
Right. True stories. We live real by lived. We have lived experience.
Yes.
We can speak to, and we are in a room that is a sacred room. It's a healing space.
Yes.
It's a safe space, and no questions off the table. We can talk about anything, judgment free.
Can you tell me if there are any positive aspects to trauma bonding?
Okay, I'll use my personal experience. Like, me and my mother, we are codependent. We are a functioning, dysfunctional family. The trauma bonding with me and my mom, because codependency is trauma bonding. But the codependency we have is that we're working on our individual recovery, but as we are, like, working on our relationship together. But it only works because we're working on ourselves individually as well. We're not just looking at each other and like, oh, fix my problems. You hurt me when I was a child, mommy. And mommy's like, oh, you hurt me when you were born, And so there's none of that. It's more like, mommy, let me teach you what I learned in my recovery. And she's like, baby, you got to do this a little better. You need to work on that. So our codependency and trauma bonding, like, it's actually, if I throw my sister in there, that's a completely different story. that's a completely different story, because she's not in her recovery yet. She's not in her recovery yet. So everything is, remember when we were kids and she did this and this happened? I said, she already apologized to us for all of the trauma she put us through. She knew she was wrong and messed up. But my sister's not in her own recovery. So she can't let go of what happened 18, 20, 30 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Did your sis just like have a therapist or talk to somebody?
She has the resources there, but
Right.
she's not applying it to herself.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
she's not in mental health recovery. Mental health recovery is when we're working on it. We're seeing our therapist. We're taking our medication. We're doing the work. We're doing the step work. We're doing groups, support groups. We're checking in. We're checking in with people, you know, and doing what we have to do. We're showing up as ourselves. We're not isolating to the point where, you know, we're stuck in a depression. We still have the symptoms. We still get the depression, anxiety attacks, the panic attack, the hearing the voices. All that's still there, but we're still showing up. You know, ready to do what we can do to make it a better day. Every day, trying to make it a little bit better.
And imagine if everybody in the world tried to do that for one day. How
Because if
nice.
you do it for yourself, when we come together as a collective, all the pieces fit.
That's right.
You know.
A lot more peaceful of a world would be in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot kind of spaces would be in.
Yeah.
You know, a lot more kindness we shared with ourselves and each other and our families, and especially with the community. You know, I think that in being from Brockton, that growing up in this Brockton public school systems and all of this, like I've watched the community completely change. And I'm evolved. I mean, I've evolved with the times. I like, you know, it is what it is. I'm Peter Pan. I'm never getting young.
I love that.
I'm just getting younger. I'm not getting older. And because I think of the authenticity behind me saying that straight out, I am like a Peter Pan. Like, I am not getting old. I'm only going to get younger as I go.
Yeah.
Because each day is a day that I'm grateful for. Like, I am grateful for today. I was grateful when I woke up yesterday. Every day when I wake up, I believe in that.
Yes.
Those positive moments that you have with yourself. It's a small win to start the day with.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it. That I was grateful this morning when I was coming here. When I woke up my eyes, I got my dog barking.
Oh.
Yeah, Callie knows all about that. Behind the cam, she knows. You know, you heard it. Everybody's heard Cody. We'll have him on the show one day.
Okay.
He'll be quiet in here though.
I think I don't know, maybe you could give me some insight, but I noticed when I was in prison, you know, good brother told me that, you know, as you continuously grow and mature and evolve, the things that you once were into, you're not into that, and the people that you once engaged with and built with and shared whatever you shared with, you outgrow that cycle. And I noticed, like, coming out of prison, and I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I love all my homies, man. I love them all, man. All my homegirls, I love them all. But I noticed that some of them, what I'm into and what I think and what I feel, it's different than maybe some of what they feel and what they think. And sometimes I feel like I be by myself. I'm like, yo, what am I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, what are we gonna, you know, I'm not into kind of some of that stuff. And I'm not judging them because I love them, and it's just that we're in different times and places. But in trauma bonding too, I think that sometimes, man, you know, I connect with my younger brother. You know, I think that sometimes we low-key trauma bond, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just, you know, I think sometimes it's like oil and water, but I love my brother to death. You know what I'm saying? I love him to death, shout out life, L.I. But I think that sometimes we low-key, man, we trauma bond. But that trauma that we both been through, and my other brother, Rock, you know what I'm saying? I think that it keeps us together, it keeps that love together. But the question that I have to ask you is, and I feel like I know what it is, but I feel like that's not healthy love. So I want to know, like, what can I do about that? You know what I'm saying?
So one thing I started doing because of the codependency with my mother and the trauma bonding that we have, like last year, whenever she would hang up the phone, I would get upset. Like, I'd be like, no, please don't hang up, please don't go. Or I'm like, come and get me if you're going to the market. I need to go to the market too. And I had to look at myself like, Ayanna, like, come on, you are a grown woman. You know, you've been taking care of yourself since you were 15 years old. There's no reason for you to be kicking and screaming and crying because your mama got to hang up the phone for an hour. You'll be okay. So now what I decided to say, okay, how can I still have a relationship with my mom but not be as codependent? So I do this thing where I don't call her, I let her call me. That's one thing, because I call as soon as you get up in the morning. I call and make sure she got to work. Call when she get off work. Call and make sure she got home. That's me. Like, I'm like the mother. I'm overbearing, you know. But I have to look out for my elders because, you know, they're sick and stuff. But so one thing I made, it helped, just say, you know what, I'm not going to call her because she's going to call me when, you know, that's one step we took. The other step we took was having our own friends is a good way to, you know, having friends that we could relate to, and it breaks up the monotony of being like, I only want to hang around what I'm comfortable, which is the trauma. I want to be around where I'm comfortable. That's trauma in itself. You know, you gotta leave you gotta break out of your comfort zone. And what I want to touch on is something you said about like the old people, places, and things. We talk about that in recovery. We talk about when you're getting clean and when you're working on yourself. Sometimes them old people, places, and things are the biggest trigger, or the things that you have to stay away from. You can still love them from a distance. Like my sister, she, you know, she's one of the old people, places, and things in my recovery. But you know what? I check on her every day. I call her. I say, hey, do you need anything from the grocery market? Do you need a ride anywhere? Hey, remember your appointment's coming up. So there's a healthy way to have, like, though the trauma bonding is there, and that's, you know, trauma doesn't go away, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Trauma does not go away. It doesn't.
There's no pause switch. There's no pause switch. It's just
there.
how you deal with it. You know, and how you can learn from it and move in a direction that you don't complete. Like, you can break generational curses, break generational cycles, but you have to be willing to put in the time, the work, and the effort to change those people, places, and things. Because you can change it all you want, but if your mindset is not changed on a people, places, and things, you could we could go out and jump up in a podcast up in a, you know, wherever, Chestnut Hill. We're coming for you next.
Ooh,
What?
love Chestnut.
Let's go. I love it. Let's go to Blaze.
Another thing, like, I've learned is, like, you know, especially coming home, is that, it's like kind of like, I only feel comfortable with the brothers that I did time with, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I did time with, you know what I'm saying? Like, that I shared those tough times, man, when it's 100 degrees humid and we sleeping on the floor, you know what I'm saying? Or we you know what I'm saying, we waiting for canteen, or, you know, something like, you know, one of our family members dies, and then it's like I'm out here in the world and I got to understand that it's about leaving the old places, people, and things, and learning new people, places, and things. But I also think about, too, Nas got this verse, I don't know, that's one of my favorite rappers. He says, love changes and best friends become strangers, man. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of look at it like that, man. But I'm learning a lot from both of you ladies today, man. You know, again, man, shout out to Callie, man, out there on the camera over there, man. Shout out to Callie.
Yes.
You know
Callie, you want to jump in here for a sec? This is a very, what I like about this is because, you know, women can talk about this stuff all day, but to have a man's perspective, so I got to shout out MCA for a second. Mass Center for Addiction, and they have mental health recovery in the center. And it's Eddie McGrath, shout out to Rockland recovery groups. They're all over they're everywhere. And he is also from out here, and I grew up with him, and he's done amazing things himself, but they checked in on me all the time. But that's a huge shout out to the Rockland, to like mental health awareness, recovery. You know, everybody in this room knows Motivated by Mathematics.
Yes.
Right?
Math is the greatest right now for me. I mean, I listen to Jewels of the Day. Shout out to Math. You know, you're doing a good thing for us.
We love the Jewel. Peace
love the Jewel
is this way put together, and then because this is united. But this actually is what we did give a peace sign to for the Jeep.
I love doing
the veterans. The veterans. The V.
Oh, the V and the veterans.
The V for the veterans.
Wow. So each different peace sign means something else?
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, but the peace is for the veteran. That one's really for veterans. And if you drive a Jeep, that's the whole thing.
My dad's a veteran.
All right. Shout out to your dad.
Yeah, so I can teach him that V for veterans.
Shout out to your father
Yeah.
for giving us some safety and freedom in this land that we deserve, right?
He does good, man.
Yes.
That guy.
But we cannot forget our veterans. You know, I've been privy to be in this building when there was a interview going on, and I was able to hear about someone that's an elderly man that's in a wheelchair. He's handy, you know, he's in a wheelchair, and the BAT bus people don't want to take him. Like, how about that? How about the BAT bus people, like, not being so kind? Or, I mean, they don't got an easy job by any means, but you can't like turn passengers away because they're old. You cannot forget your elders at all. You gotta have respect for everybody.
The people falling in the cracks.
That's right, and those are the people that need a voice too. You know, so it's like, who is, you know, look at the dog that was found at the Brockton Mall. Shout out to that lady that got the dog in the car in like 4 seconds. Animal control was out there for weeks trying to get a while. They were out there for a while. Okay, and this lady got the dog in 30 seconds. I hope you are able to adopt that dog. I hope that the community supports you. We support you. Shout out to anything you need. Let us know. I'll help you. I love animals.
Yeah,
Animals
are great.
Adult.
Yeah.
I want to go back to mental health.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's a question, but I want to share something with you. Like, you know, coming home, you know what I'm saying, suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I see clinicians, you know what I'm saying? But I think I'm blessed too, because, you know, she's my cousin, but I call her my sister, but, you know, she's a clinician, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a beautiful thing to be able to, like, when I'm, you know, she called me, she'd be like, yo, you good? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to have that person in my life, it's just important. And my, you know, a lot of people, I know how people look at enforcement, whatever, but my parole officer, you know what I'm saying, he deals with, you know, mental health, and that's important. And my attorney, you know what I'm saying, so I'm blessed and humbled and appreciative to have those type of people in my life, man, because, yo, listen, it's a totally different world.
It is. Out
here, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, and another thing I noticed is, like, when I was out, even though I was woefully immature, but the way a brother will go kick it with a female, it's different now. Now a woman will come like, yo, she'll tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I respect the boss chick, you know what I'm saying? But now they pull up on you and be like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? And so, you know, you get it taken back by that. You know what I mean? So, it's, you know, it's just different, man.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
That was a statement. You said you didn't know if it was going to be a question, but that's a statement. I was when I was coming up in my teenage years, I used to tell my friends that at the dances at school, and they're like, oh, I want to dance with, you know, the girls we taught. Oh, I got a crush on so-and-so. Over the week, they're talking, the dancers coming up. I should wear this. He don't like this. And then he's standing there at the party. He's over there, you're over there. Y'all just staring. I said, girl, if you don't go up there and get your man,
right?
Go get your man.
Right.
You know, and so I used to, you know, from back in the early 2000s when I was hanging out with my friends, they always felt like a man needed to approach you. Yeah, he who findeth the wife findeth the good thing, but it's like the woman has to be ready. You know what I mean? And sometimes you ain't gonna know if he might not know that you know. Sometimes the guy don't know.
Yeah, but the guy gotta know to court you.
Yeah, he gotta know how to court you.
He gotta know how to take you out and be respectful and all this kind of thing. Because I think guys nowadays, because of this online industry where everything's like a swipe, right? What's better?
I'm so
you know, guys don't want to like take the time to be with you. They just want to hook up. Yeah. And that's it. It's like a lot of... The world has changed, pal. Big time. You don't even know it. It's wild. The things that are out there that I can't even believe I see sometimes.
The transparency for that is very big. Major key is like, if that's all you want is to hook up, please be honest, because you need to, you know, you could be wasting somebody's time. Somebody might be interested in just hooking up with you as well, and it just be that's clear. But don't waste a good adult time. We could be doing so many positive and great things in the world with our time, and you got somebody over here talking about, oh, nah, I want to be married, and I dated one of them recently in 2023 before my fiance moved up here with me.
And let it be known that you were already engaged to this man. He's a good guy.
I was engaged to him when we were in our 20s, when we was coming up. We met when we was 15. He was 17. We fell in love by the time we was like 18, 19. He was living in Dallas. We met online. He was living in Dallas, had a court thing going on. He couldn't leave the state. And I ended up, by the time 2013, 2014 rolled around, I flew down there. And we was engaged when I flew down there. Some tragedy happened. I had to come back up to Boston. He kind of stepped out of the relationship. Okay, cool. We long distance. We young explore. I always told him explore because we had a long distance relationship. I want you to have the world, even if it's not with me. That was always my motto, right? Found a woman. She got pregnant. They got married. We broke up. And then they got divorced, you know, and he comes back to me. I always knew he would come back. I always knew he would come back because I'm confident like that. And
when you're a high priestess, so you already know.
Yeah, I seen it. And I told him that when we was, because I said, I know if you ever leave me, you're going to just come right on back. I said, you're going to marry somebody else. And he said, everything you said about our relationship came true. I said, yeah, you know, it's facts, you know. So I always knew he was my, and you know what, my sister-in-law said that too. She was like, he's going to come back to you. He's going to come back. And he came back with a beautiful daughter, you know, and actually an honorary daughter as well. So I got 2 honorary daughters out of the situation.
Blessings.
And yeah, it's beautiful, you know, and I don't have biological children. So I have that extension of life. And I was raised by a stepdad who I call dad.
That's my only dad. I was adopted.
Yeah, so it's like the blended family. I'm really big on that. But he came back, and now, you know, our wedding is in March.
That's
Yay!
Congratulations!
Yeah,
can't wait.
That's good news. Yeah,
I hope to be there to be able to film you walking down the aisle.
Girl, you can come.
We're gonna be out.
We got room.
All right.
Yeah, I started off small because I knew it was gonna expand.
That's right.
Yeah, you definitely.
Wedding planning.
I'm keeping it real. I'm trying to get married, man.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. You want to have more kids, Nate? You think?
How many kids do you have?
We ain't gonna talk about
Okay. I'm not gonna.
No, but you're not like you're not the world. You're not the Brockton hustler out here.
Nah,
you know that. We already
but I do want to eventually get married, man. I'm at a point in my life, man, where love is important, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I love loving me, and I love learning more about myself and understanding myself. And because I love those things about me, I believe that I'm able to share and reciprocate that with, you know, my significant other. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, man, that I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a boy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to continuously move and elevate myself like a man. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you something? And I think this question goes for everybody in the room.
Yeah.
Okay? I used to have to tell my parents sometime that come to me with broken hearts and failed relationships, and I would say, you know, and I think marriage is romanticized, and we forget that marriage is actually a business transaction.
Oh, I can tell you a story about that one. 90-Day Fiance over here.
So wait. I want to hear the story, definitely.
Yes.
But before I go to that part, let me make this point. Now, how do we feel about, can we just have the relationship that's like a great quality relationship and leave the government out of it? And like, how do we feel about having a long-term healthy relationship? Because in Commonwealth, we don't have common law marriages. But in certain states, and I got people from other states probably tuning in, you know, they have common law marriages. And, you know, I think that sometimes, and especially because you hear statistics about the wedding puts them in debt, and then it breaks away the relationship, or the people they had in the wedding are no longer friends with them, and they're still married, and stuff like that. I feel like relationships can look like many things, especially when I used to practice polyamory. Relationships can look like so many things, and you want to make sure that you don't just shoot for the ring and shoot for the aisle and shoot, because love might be greater. You know, you might find something greater in between that. You know what I mean? That you could just have a healthy, you know, love, intimate companionship with somebody that makes you greater, that you can make greater, you know, and just evolve together and come together and something, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, because I'm getting married because he wants it, and I'm going to give it to him. Like I said, I was engaged 4 times, and I knew I wasn't going to marry them. But him, now, I'll give him a wedding. I'll take his last name. I will. Him.
Hey, the best thing I got out of my marriage was my last name. I'm divorced now, and it's okay. It's okay it's okay to be divorced. I had to live in the crib for a minute because I couldn't handle it. I was embarrassed by it. right? I didn't want to get a divorce, but I didn't want to live miserable either. So I said, that's that. I'm not going to like be living in hell. So it was, and it was because I think that I jumped right into it. Like, you know, if anybody knows me, I'm 100 or I'm nothing. I don't give like that gray area. Like, I don't really like, I don't believe in that, because I feel like there's so many times that I felt like in a relationship, like I'm questioning myself. In a friend, whatever. If I have to question the way that I'm like rolling or like moving, or I don't feel that it's the same, like I'm not gonna do it no more. Right? So but I do believe that a divorce is okay too.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's okay.
look at you.
Yeah, my mom.
Now you are, but now you're engaged.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a good
And
thing.
if we
And
broke
you
up,
wanna
I gotta
get
be
married.
good by myself.
You guys
if it
will
don't work
keep
out,
me,
we gotta be good by ourselves. You know.
You guys will give me the hope that there's marriage out there one day.
I mean,
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I just want to give people perspective that they have a choice. You know?
But there is a piece of paper that you sign, and you got to pay to sign it, and then you got to pay to get it signed again, and you got to go in front of the lawyer, and you got to go to court, and all this stuff. So don't forget the real thing. You need to have all of these things up in order before you want to marry somebody. Like emotional,
and taking on their debt. Taking on their debt is a big thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm paying debt.
I mean, before I answer how I feel, I think the most important thing, the most beautiful thing about not just podcasts, but just conversations, period, is that everybody has an opinion, you know what I'm saying, and respecting each and everyone's opinion. Some people may be in different places and times in their life, you know what I mean, and I respect your opinion in that, and it's valid, yo. Like what you say is valid, because, you know, a while ago I was like, yo, man, why I gotta man drop on my knee and say, will you marry me? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's just like, as I continuously grow and look at the way I feel and how I see love, it's just like, I don't know. I just like the feeling, man, you know what I'm saying, of someday, you know, doing that hold down the aisle thing, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to get on no Key Sweat shit, you know what I'm saying? No, you know.
Listen, let's turn down the lights, and turn up the Jodeci.
You know,
I know,
but
right?
But I don't want to hear.
Light a candle.
Yeah, we got light over there.
Light a candle.
But I don't want to play no Mary J. Blige broke up song either. I just love, and you know what I'm saying. As I stated earlier, and you said it very well, is I like things to be organic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not like I want to force it, but if an opportunity arises, man, where we're at this, then I'm at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I understand what you're saying. I agree with both of you ladies are saying. But I just see, like, you know, if that happens, man, I'm open to it.
If you have that in your mind's eye, let's talk about manifestation for a second.
Let's do that.
Because if you're in your mind's eye and you're seeing a marriage for yourself, and this is your happy ending, and the kids and the white picket fence and paying off your student loan debt and having the career and having it all, we call that, right? The American dream. We're having it all.
Yeah.
If we see that in our mind's eye, we can manifest that and create that. We really can.
Yeah.
But we have to also be prepared for what comes with what we're manifesting. Be careful what you wish for, because you might get it and get it all.
Yeah.
You know,
And get extra.
yeah, and get more. Yeah. So with, you know, but I feel like anybody can manifest anything they want, whether that be, because I had to manifest the relationship that I wanted. I'm gonna make a video on how I did it. I'll share it with
I'd like
you.
to.
Yeah.
Can I get the preview before
Yeah,
it goes viral?
No, I can't do the preview because we on live. But when I do
No, I mean when you show me.
Oh yeah, of course. I'll share it. You know, it'll be on Facebook. But you know how I manifested the relationship I wanted. You know, but I don't think that. I feel like some people let themselves down when they think they can't have the kids and they can't have the marriage and they can't have the. And it's like, it's okay, because the universe has other things it can give you. When I gave up on the having the children and the marriage, and I let go after me and him, you know, we didn't get married. We, you know, ended up breaking up instead. You know what I did? I went inward and I said, hey, I can write a book. I said, hey, you know, I can get on the computer, I can get on live and make videos. I said, there's other ways of loving myself and making my life full. Then my brother went and had 4 children on me. he had a boy, a girl, then a set of twins. Bam! I was like, ooh.
Aunty.
I was like, look at this. And then my oldest nephew had a child. I was like, ooh, look at this. So I have all these children around me, and I didn't have to go through the labor pains and the pregnancy and all that to feel that love from a child. And my nieces and nephews, they flock to me. When they see me, they're like, they turned up for me, you know. And it's like, that's an extension of love that may not be like in your home, but there's an extension. You got to look at what you already have, be grateful for that, so you can manifest more, you know. Because the universe, if you ain't grateful for what you have in front of you, the universe ain't gonna give you no more. Not right now. No, you got to figure out, you know, deal with what's on your plate first, and then let's you know, get more out of it, you know, and multiply what you have, whatever it is. You might just have the career and not the man, but there's a blessing in that career. That career might lead you to the person that you're supposed to be with, if you appreciate your position where you at by yourself, and with or without the person. Be in love with yourself. Take care of that first. You got to take care of that, you know, because if something happens in that person, say for example, you wanted to lose weight to look good for this person, and you have an eating disorder, overeating disorder, right? And you binge, and you're with this person, and they're like, you know, they help you and coach you, like, oh, I'm gonna stop overeating for you. Now that person's gone. Are you gonna go back to overeating?
Yeah, some people do. It's a coping mechanism.
It is.
You know, it's like, or not even eating. Like, for example,
that too.
Stress. Like, stress can cause either you overeat or you don't eat, because it's the only thing, when a world full of chaos, if it's the only thing you control is what goes in your mouth. Not what comes out, what goes in it. But, you know, if you can control that, then you got control of something, right? And that's like, but who needs control? Just eat what you want. Live your damn life.
Yes,
be positive and be happy.
And I tell some of my clients that came to me about struggling with body image, and I'm like, you know, love, if you got a flaw, like I used to hate my feet when I was a kid because I had really bad eczema, and my feet looked really crunchy, and so I hated them so much. But you know what I did? I used to start soaking them, moisturizing them, showing them love, showing my feet love, and just nurturing. So when you have flaws, cater to that flaw. Show that flaw some love. That's how you gonna build yourself. That's how you gonna build that love in you. You know what I mean? Because people say, I hate my nose. Like, take pictures of your nose. Do some. You know, put a clown nose on it. You know, play with it, have fun with it, talk about it, laugh about it, show it some love, and you will create the beauty in it. You know, you can.
You got plants? Can. Do you have plants in your house?
No, they keep dying. I'm not good with
I'm not good either.
And my cat ate my plants too. When I did get plants.
You do?
I got a
really?
I got a plant.
You talk to it? They say if you talk to the plant, that it's supposed to talk to the plant.
I talked to mine, and it was like, girl, your breath stank.
Mine, I just don't know how to water them.
Yeah.
What's a special
My cat ate it, really. I don't think it's me. I think my cat, he just...
There was something that you said, and I had said it earlier, and I'm glad that we agree with it. I'm pretty sure Shannon agrees too, is that, you know, what I love the most, like, about people is their imperfections, man. Embracing their imperfections, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think also we come from a society, man, where if you see social media, everybody wants to look like this or everybody wants to be like that. And that's why, man, the people that I surround myself, I feel like it's so important, man, to edify their beauty, edify their strengths, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, you know, that I appreciate them, man, wherever they're at, however they're at. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that, you know, we come from a place, man, where there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of hate, man.
In this world. You know I mean? Self-hate, too.
Yeah,
Not
man.
just because the hate starts with self-hate. I feel like that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And women are vile to each other. They are terrible to each other. They talk rotten. But I also think guys are the same way to each other nowadays. Guys are like young women. Some of these guys act like girls. They're gossiping. They're talking mad trash. I mean, I never seen nothing like it. Men, listen.
Maybe it's in the food.
Maybe it's in the food, because I'm gonna tell you. But maybe they should just pay attention a little bit more to the details that Nate 508's been sharing with y'all.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. A lot of people don't have.
They can't hear you.
Well, I'm telling you.
Oh, all right.
A lot of people don't have like that. that luxury of even growing up and having somebody as solid next to them. You know what I mean? They grow up, they see a lot of fuck shit. Sometimes they follow, sometimes they walk the other way. But,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say names and none of that, because at one time, yo, I fell victim to that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I came from a place of darkness, man, a place of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? A place of anger, and that hate. When you feel like that, that hate comes in, man. And just as we want to see true sisterhood, there needs to be true brotherhood.
Oh, yeah.
And when there isn't true brotherhood and there isn't true sisterhood, then that allows the cancer to come in and just destroy and eradicate unity amongst our people. And that's why a lot of this shit's going on today. You understand what I'm saying? But I believe with brothers, especially black men, is that there's a lot of jealousy, a lot of envious. There's a lot of people that they just thinking about me. And I think that we just have to think about what's in your own pocket and what you got going on. And to those who are doing good, just support them and congratulate them and realize that there will be a time and there will be a place where you will get a seat at the table.
Yes.
And it's too much of that. It's too much of that, man.
I feel like it started for me, the bullying, in school.
Yeah.
And I actually, I'm going to do a presentation on self-esteem, because what breaks and helps your self-esteem. Like, when I was a kid, it was so bad. Like, first of all, like I said, I have really bad eczema dermatitis, really bad allergies, and I was like crispy all over. My skin was just flaky, dry.
You'd never know it, honey. You got beautiful glowing skin.
My mother would say, and I said, Mommy, why do they keep bullying me and talking about me and bullying me? And she was like, oh, they're jealous. You're jealous of what? But as I got older and my skin started to clear up, like I said, the things I didn't like about myself from that young age, because I was born with the gift. That's what makes me a priestess. I'm born with this gift. So from the time of as a youngin', I had this self-awareness, like, okay, let me love on myself. And you would never know, now looking at my skin, you would never know I went through that. But when I got older and I realized that, people will hate on what they don't understand. And my skin wasn't something that people understood, and they were afraid of me, so they picked on me. And then when I got older and it went away, they started to be envious of how my beauty, and to the point where I was so trust me, I'm just breaking out of this. I was so afraid of showing my hair. I was so afraid of showing my eyes and my teeth and things like that, because I knew my beauty, but I didn't want other people to see, because I was so used to being bullied and beat up and people hating on me. So my mother would be like, why you always got that bonnet on your head, and you got beautiful hair, and why you always doing this? And I'd be like, Mommy, because I don't want people hating on me. And then I was just like, they're going to hate on me anyway. So I might as well do, let God shine. Let the universe's glory shine on me. Let my beauty flow. Let my beauty show. But I was always scared of it, because they used to be like, get her hair, and they would be beating on me. I'm like, what is going on? It was crazy. Like, oh, knock her teeth out. I'm like, I'm not, So I used to be, and I'm just not, like, with my fiance coming into my life, I feel like it's a covering where I can show my beauty, because I have that divine masculine in my life to protect my energy. So in some weird way, when he came, I said, I stopped cutting my hair. You know what I mean? I stopped hiding my teeth. I went and got my teeth fixed, actually. Made them a little bit more enhanced, stronger. You know what I mean? And started going to the dentist regularly. Started going to the my diabetic doctor regularly. Really taking care of myself, because I wanted that. But the way hate is, self-hate and hate from the outside world to you, is so damaging.
And would you say that, I'm going to say that I don't believe that confidence and self-esteem are equal. I don't think they're the same thing. I think they're two totally different things. I don't know how to explain it. I could look here like I got all the self-confidence in the world and all the self-esteem in the world, but I do have confidence, no problem. But the self-esteem, will I ever be good enough for myself? Will I ever be good enough to somebody else? Will I reach people where they're at? Or am I doing this the right way? It's just being, I guess, myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's all you can be.
I know.
You the best version of yourself you ever gonna be, Shan. Aunty Shan got it going on, y'all. Trust me. She got it going on. You're reaching people.
Thank you.
Cause I was, before I seen the show, I was looking. I was like, oh, I remember this lady. I was like, I don't remember where from. I'm like, I remember. I said, oh, look at her doing her thing.
I love
Look at
that.
you
Thank
going.
you so
Look at you
much.
bringing in the next generation. Look at you, connecting dots where they need to be connected. You have a person that's talking about dating and mental health, sitting next to a person who did 30 years and 5 months in prison. And then we have you representing Brockton, and you know what I mean? Like how are we connecting these dots together if it wasn't for Aunty Shan right now? Right?
But you know what? An idea happened, and it just kind of came to life overnight, and here we are. And I'm glad it hit. I'm glad we're at this table. 'Cause
Yeah.
this room is a place, like I said, it's a sacred place. It's a place of healing. It's a place of learning, learning from each other, and giving each other the opportunity to listen more but still speak.
Yeah.
And ask the right questions, maybe questions that have intention. I might throw out like an ADHD, like rando, but that's who I am.
You're being yourself, and it's working. Your flow, like just being yourself and letting that flow, it shows authenticity. You ain't trying to be fake. You're not trying to figure it out. You're just trying to be yourself. And that's what makes it effortless. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it fun, exciting. Because that's why I say, when y'all said we doing this live, I said, I've been doing live since 2017. Because I got off of Facebook. I got back on it in 2017. I went straight to live. I did. I went straight to live. And I was just like, my mother was like, you keep going. I said, Mommy, this is the fun part.
What is your Facebook so everybody can follow you on there?
My Facebook is ZIONA, ZIONA, Rivera, RIVERA. It also pops up, Priestess Iyanna pops up as well. And I think Iyanna pops up, IYA, N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, A. So that's my Facebook there. And I'm on, I just got on TikTok. I'm Priestess Iyanna on TikTok.
I love
now.
TikTok.
I'm
ready for a TikTok dance. Nate's getting ready. We're going to do the Ain't Nobody Shaka Khan one.
Oh, that'd be
That's
dope.
a good one.
I love Shaka Khan.
I love Shaka Khan.
Yes.
That is a family.
She's like the epitome of Afrocentria. Like, right? If you look up Afrocentria, it should be a picture of Shaka Khan.
I gotta tell y'all something about dancing.
Oh.
So for the first time in 30 years, I went out and did the hookah. I was Rhode Island, and I was dancing. I was like, I would.
Wait, were you dancing to Arabic music?
No,
because that stuff's
dope. It is. It's like,
so you get the wrong kind of djembe
and everything.
Man, I was dancing to Meek Mill.
All right. We gotta keep it real. Yes. 508, Nate. We gotta keep it 100.
Yes.
Yeah.
You probably wasn't dancing. You was boogieing.
Nah, I was two-stepping, man.
Two-stepping.
I love that.
Yes.
Drinking orange juice and smoking hookah.
That's wonderful.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with not drinking. And I think that's another thing that people don't normalize. Like, if you don't drink, I mean, it's okay. Who cares?
Yeah.
When I went to Turkey, when I went to Istanbul, my ex-husband's from Istanbul. When I went there, people meet up, they just drink tea.
Yeah.
Tea time over here with Aunty Shan all day, every day. Anybody want a conversation? Because that's real.
I had the best time,
Yeah.
Man, listen,
I would love to go there.
Yeah.
I went to a brunch in
Can you give us like a little version of a two-step real quick, or we should wait? We'll hold that for another day.
Play some Sugar Free by Juicy and I'll two-step for you.
Okay, here we go.
Here
we go. You know Auntie's on that. No. Wait. You know I'm on that one.
She's right.
I'm up. I'm getting the phone ready. We're going to play it. We're getting up in the mix.
No, but we definitely got to do a TikTok video on something. When we get together again, if we don't do it tonight.
I'm going to get a picture of y'all.
Yes, thank you so much.
Do the peace.
Life is too short not to enjoy the moments.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody. I mean, it's a Monday afternoon. It's like 2 degrees out. It's cold up in here, wind chills and all that. But it's really important to thank each other for coming together for the support and love of one another.
Yes.
And just really.
We gotta see more
vibing with it.
We gotta see more of each other this year.
Yeah, and I think that we will. I think that an idea is with no action is a fantasy.
If I may, I want to just let you know, man, Iyanna, sister, that I'm impressed with you. I'm glad that we're able to have some verbal intercourse. You know what I'm saying? of some intellectuality. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that just as much as I learned from you, you learn from me and and Aunty Shannon, man. And it's been an honor and a privilege to sit here and just vibe with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. I mean that shit, man.
Thank
Real
you.
talk,
Likewise,
and,
because you throwing them questions that, like, things that I have to think about when I'm doing this. He's throwing, like, the jewels, like, you know, the questions that I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I didn't think of that perspective. You know, I want perspective, because then I could be like, okay, somebody might be thinking about this.
Yeah.
Somebody's thinking about that, and I wasn't thinking about it.
And
So
I support you, man. And
thank you, and I support you
you know
back.
what I'm saying? Whenever, you know, you need me, man, or Aunty Shannon, you know I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, I look forward to doing some things with you, man.
Same, yeah. I told both of you guys my line is open. Anytime, any day.
Yeah.
My line is open. You know, I keep my ring off at night, but I do respond.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm up, I do respond. The only time you're not gonna hear from me if you hit me up is if I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah. Other than that, I hit back.
on another note, the only way I'm gonna do a TikTok dances is Cal Hustle do it.
Cal Hustle.
You know
is
what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's the only way, yo.
Yeah, we should. We
We'll
should
have to
throw
do
it.
that. We're gonna
Can
throw
y'all
it.
do it on a TikTok? Throw it on a TikTok, cause they
What?
got them jams.
That jam, that
Yeah,
one
they got
jam.
the
Let's do it.
jams.
Cal, you gonna get in it?
Yeah.
No, I ain't doing it, yo.
No, not yet. Not yet. All right. We're gonna do it on.
I ain't
We're gonna
ready
do
yet.
it one day on the street. How's that? We're
Why
gonna do it on the
don't we-
steps of the.
Yeah, let's do it aside from the show.
Aside from the show, we should do it outside, like
It's
somewhere.
so bright.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Not now, not tonight, but we'll do it another day because I feel that it's fun. I think it's interactive. I think that
I'm getting into it.
I like to see it. I like to see the people's energy and like, you're gonna be choreographing TikTok dances before you even know it, and you don't even. You're just doing it. You could. End up.
Callie gonna be the choreographer.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna tell me?
That's it.
What's
So, Cal?
what's some words we gonna say to anybody over here before we log out, before we say goodbye? What's some free game you guys want to give today? To anybody.
I'll start. I call this the aftercare self-care checkout. This is what do you want to leave with, something that to leave with, so you don't feel like there was questions unanswered. You know, feeling vulnerable and stuff. So this is the aftercare self-care checkout. What I want to leave people with is, please start with transparency, because when you can be honest with, sometimes you gotta be honest with somebody first before you can be honest with yourself. Sometimes it goes that way because that other person is a portal holding you accountable for what you are trying to validate within yourself. So if you can't be honest with yourself, but you can use somebody else to be honest with, you know, that's the first step to loving yourself. Transparency, honesty, keeping it real. You know, keeping it real. Just be yourself. And that's the only way, I promise you, that's the only way you're going to get somebody to love you for you. And remember, we all do evolve. So after you accept who you are now, you're going to grow into something even better. And I'm going to leave y'all with that.
As for me, the first thing I'm gonna say is, man, it's a scary thing, but allow yourself to be vulnerable. Because if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you don't know the outcome. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that outcome could be a very beautiful thing, man. And it could be a learning thing. It could be a learning mechanism. And as I always say, man, my life, my mantra, man, is that beautiful things truly do come from struggle, man. It really does, man. And I just want to just tell each and every one of you guys, man, to just spread that love. You know what I'm saying? To find that love, man, and to eradicate that hate, man. You know, and you know, I'm not no clinician or no doctor, but I do know that it starts with self, man. You know what I'm saying? And with that, man, I want to thank, you know, Iyanna for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? And I want to pass it to my homie Shannon. Peace.
And I would like to leave this off with, if you're gonna show up for anybody, show up for yourself. All right, show up for yourself first. You'll feel good when you get up in the morning if you're showing up for yourself. Small wins are what matter. Celebrate your success. Tell your story. This is a space where there is oxygen for untold stories. Okay, this is what time it is. So Aunty Shan and fam, Cal, you want to give a little shout? I'm gonna give Cal Hustle a shout out today. My niece, my girl,
Shout
our
out,
family. Callie, you're the best. And I just want to lock it in with like thanking each other every day for the kindness within.
That's like namaste. The peace within me recognizes the peace within you.
Namaste.
And
Ashe.
thank you, Shan, for having us. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
creating this space. You and Callie, because I think y'all started this together, right? Yeah. Thank y'all for creating this in Brockton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's all about, you know, and it's not just for Brockton, it's for anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah.
If you're tuning in.
Yeah, eventually
Yeah.
we'll travel all over.
We'll go wherever.
Oh, and I'll be right.
We
I'm
outside. We be outside.
going.
Auntie Shan likes to go outside.
Yes.
I think my passport's still good too.
But I like to
Hey.
stay out late. I gotta stay out late night once in a while, and I you know. But I like this thing. There's a nightclub 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. I
yeah,
could get
you
up and
said
dance to some Jodeci at 10 a.m. Like,
I
why
I don't
not?
blame you. That's beautiful.
Why not? Some R&B soul. So listen. On that note, we're gonna thank you all for tuning in. Share, like, comment. See what we're gonna hear from you. We want to know what's on your mind, and then we'll bring it up next time, or maybe you can come in the room with us.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Thanks.
Peace.
Callie, you shut me up?